Today in the science lab, we are looking at the calculated chaos that is Marvin Hagler's style, with a lot of mental pressure from the constant movement, feints, and slips, and the forward pressure. But then also, we're going to talk about something that I think a lot of people don't think about. So just to, before we get into it, counter punching isn't a style, it's a tool. Pressure isn't a style, it's a tool. Outside, inside fighting, those are tools, right? We define styles by the primary tools a fighter uses and how they use it. But in most cases, great fighters are capable of using several tools at once. I say that because what you're going to see from Marvin Hagler in this short style study is him relying on so many different tools, despite him being categorized primarily as a pressure fighter. So immediately when he comes out, he's bouncing, he's controlling the range, so he's jumping back, controlling the range. You'll see him do that in this fight. He's controlling that range, but then also he has these feints and he has this constant head movement, and he's pulling back, he's slipping, he's feinting, and then he starts throwing that jab, and then you're gonna see this amazing head movement. Boom! Just look at this slight pull right here, just barely pulls out the way, and then he kind of parries that shot, and then he slips this shot, but then look, he's gonna roll away from the next shot. It's just, you know, elite stuff right here. When he stops moving mostly and he plants, he's looking for something, and he gets what he's looking for. He gets that jab, pulls, throws over top. This cross actually misses, it lands on the chest. But what he does, in this fight, he did this repeatedly. He would slip or pull counter with that cross, and then come through with that leaping right hook. And the reason why he did that is because when he loads up for that cross, he transitions the weight over to this lead leg right here, and that allows for him to explode off of that leg with the hook that would oftentimes land if the cross missed. And he's calculated chaos because he's hard to predict, but it's all by design. And so even that shot right there, how can you land a shot like that? Well, because he's always feinting, and I'm gonna show you some of those feints that he does that kind of gives him, you know, the pathways he has to take in the fight. Feints aren't just disguises for shots, they serve as that as well, but they also serve as data collection. And when you have these elite fighters, when you have these all-time greats, their brain is constantly working to think of ways to take advantage of their opponents' reactions or lack thereof. Here's a great example of what I mean, having multiple tools in your toolbox that give dynamics to your style. So getting on the back foot, moving, slipping, being defensive, putting that guard up, and then he's gonna catch the uppercut with his elbow, and as soon as he catches it, boom, counter over top. So he's counter punching like he was earlier. He's on the back foot being defensive. He's not just a pressure fighter. It's rare for an all-time great to just be one thing. One thing I don't do enough is highlight small moments like this. That feint. When I say that data collection is there, the disguise is there, the fact that Mentor doesn't react, that tells him, okay, that's going to help me decide my next course of action. That's why he's able to commit to so many of those shots, because Mentor's not showing him any type of threat that would get him off of throwing those gazelle jabs or those leaping hooks. He can keep throwing them. Then same thing here. His weight loaded and then explodes into the cross, and then as he's moving the other way, he's carrying that right hook with him, and his right hook connects slightly so it doesn't get full impact. But then now Mentor's like, okay, I got to get this dude off of me. So now Mentor's, you know, baiting him on. Pause. And so now Mentor's trying to put on forward pressure, but then Hagler's backing up while he's countering him. Right hook, catch him coming in. Right hook, catch him coming in. Slip, head off the center line, so not full connection on the punch. Mentor's punch lands with the wrist, while Hagler lands another clean left hand to the face. And he's countering off the back foot. He's backpedaling and countering Mentor while he's coming forward. And then he's working on the inside. Then again, you're gonna have him punching, moving backwards, but this time he's doing it to avoid the clinch. So Mentor, he got hit with a big shot, and now he's trying to shut down Hagler's offense. Hagler's still working though, because he has the footwork and the understanding of weight transitions to punch off the back foot like this. Here's a great example of what I mean by not reacting to stuff. He makes that move, Mentor is froze there, he's not reacting. By the time he does, it's too late. But then also you gotta highlight this. As he jumps off into the air, off his feet, he also slips the shot while landing his own in midair. I mean, this is levels. That's just ridiculous. Part of the mental pressure is that it's kind of like if you were a boxer going into kickboxing or Muay Thai or something. There's different levels of ranges. So even when you're out of punching range, you're in kicking range. That's kind of how it feels sometimes when you're fighting Marvin Hagler. You'll see this constantly because he leaps into his shots and covers so much distance. And so the mental pressure is that you're not safe at any range. At normal boxing ranges, you're not safe. So Minter's probably thinking, okay, he would have to really do something crazy. When he pushes him off, he creates distance. Hagler jumps in. And so it's kind of off rhythm. You're not expecting them to jump in right after you push him off. But then at the same time, he probably didn't think he was in range for that. And so this shot surprises him like crazy. There's so much that goes into that small moment. Boom, hurts him bad. And then this is where it gets brutal. Now he's in hunter mode. So when the referee separates him, he's instantly back on that forward pressure. And he's opening up with combos. Minter's trying to control him, but that's another thing. He can work from the outside, he can work from the inside. You got to have dynamicism. Gonna be working off the back foot again as Minter's coming forward to try and get Marvin off him, trying to discourage him. He's pulling slightly, so he pulls out of the way of that shot. Perfect, just slightly, game of inches. Boom, hits him with a YouTube messed me up right there. Hits him with a right hook as he's coming forward. Boom, then lands a left hand after. He's countering off the back foot still, so he's putting on crazy pressure. Then he can pull back the pressure, start countering him. I mean, that's what you got to be capable of. It's that constant pressure of thinking, okay, I think he smacked his mouthpiece out of his mouth right there. I don't know what that was, but it's this constant pressure of, okay, I think I'm out of range. Nope, he's still there. He's just beating the hell out of him. You're not safe at any point. Then you got to think about what Hagler was feeling and seeing and hearing that made him turn up the pressure. He probably sensed some level of weakness in Minter that gave him the go ahead, because as an elite fighter like Hagler, he's kind of like a predator in the sense that if you show signs of weakness, if you bleed in the water, then like a shark, he's gonna come even harder. And so he sensed something in Minter that made him go ahead and turn up that pressure and finish the fight as quick as he did. So right now, that's all. We'll drop some more stuff later. Immortality Serum out.